Hello, Virgo. Welcome to SHELO Mystics. This is your June 2026 love reading. Let's see what is the energy surrounding your love life this month. Hello, Virgo. Welcome to SHELO Mystics. This is your June 2026 love tarot reading. We're going to take a look at the past energy influencing your situation, what is happening in the present, what is developing throughout June, and the challenges that may arise, and ultimately where this connection or the situation appearing to be heading. A- As always, take what resonates and leave what does not. If you enjoy the reading, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal tarot or numerology reading, you can reach out to me on my personal email ID mentioned in the description. Now, let's get into your cards. Past is Hermit, present is Chariot, future is Five of Wands, obstacles are Lovers, and outcome is Tower. Let's take a look. I'm pulling up a clarifier for all the cards here. The clarifier for the past Hermit is Seven of Pentacles, Two of Wands, Six of Wands, Four of Cups, Sun, and Four of Wands. And for the present Chariot, the clarifiers are Eight of Cups, King of Cups, Magician, and Death. In the future energy of Five of Cups, the clarifiers are Five of Cups again, King of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, Ten of Swords, and Ten of Cups. And for the obstacles, the clarifiers are Page of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Justice, and Hanged Man. And the outcome, the clarifiers for the outcome is Tower, and the clarifiers are Two of Cups, Hierophant, Nine of Swords, and Nine of Cups in reverse. Let's dissect it. This is not a reading about whether the feeling exists. The feelings are clearly present throughout the spread. The real question is whether the current structure of the connection can continue as it has been. The energy begins with the distance, introspection, moving into a period of emotional involvement and a transformation here, and it is reaching a point of disappointment and emotional truth. You have to encounter obstacles surrounding choices and commitment, and ultimately will be heading towards the outcome that changes the entire foundation of the connection here. This reading repeatedly shows a pattern of hope, delay, emotional dissatisfaction, and the eventual truth. So let's dissect it by starting from past energy. It is Hermit and it is clarified by a bunch of other cards. Let's go. A connection here that appeared very promising eventually kind of led to emotional withdrawal. And there has been a distance, silence, and they have been reflecting, stepping back from the situation when it's required. So the clarifiers here do not describe any sort of connection that began negatively. We see here there's a presence of sun, Four of Wands, suggesting that there was an optimism, happiness, and excitement. The sense of attraction and the possibility of long term stability was existing. At some point, there was a genuine hope surrounding this connection. And the Six of Wands here indicates there was a desire to succeed in this, seek validation, recognition through this connection in terms of social setup. Or there was a sense that things were moving in the right direction. So the Two of Wands also here kind of represents there's a strong focus on the future. question could be of more or less like, where is this going? What are we building? What happens next? Kind of appears to be stronger energy here. However, we do see Four of Cups. This kind of brings talks about the dissatisfaction. I hope you can see the card. So, despite the potential, despite the hope or the vision for future, things failed to provide emotional fulfillment that was expected. So, as a result, the energy kind of shifted into the Hermit. So, this feels like a connection that carried very significant promise, but ultimately created more questions than answers. So that's you or your partner withdrawing because the emotional reality no longer matched the expectation that has been built around the connection here. Coming to the present energy, the chariot is clarified by four other cards. There's a movement through transformation. This is one of the strongest movement card in the tarot that we see. The energy is no longer standing still. However, the clarifiers here talks about the emotional changes rather than the easy progress. Eight of Cups here suggests that walking away from something that is emotionally unsatisfying. There was a deep emotional connection that existed. This is not an energy of indifference. There are still feelings present here. There's still you being emotionally invested. We see in the past there is Seven of Pentacles here. So that still talk about how much presence you had invested among the emotional investment that was there. And the magician here suggests there was a desire to create a change, influence the outcome, or manifest a new reality. There is a transformation we see. Then something about this existing dynamic must end so that the new things can emerge or a new form of connection to reappear. So it talks about the presently we see someone kind of appears to be reaching a point where you can no longer remain in the same emotional position. The feelings kind of remain, the attachment also still sustains here, but the current structure of this connection is changing dramatically. The transformation energy is kind of moving forward. And for the future energy, we do see a Five of Cups. It is again double clarified by Five of Cups again. So this appearing twice. This often indicates the feeling exists, but the decision is lacking. The challenge is not necessarily love, it's deciding what to do about it. So there is a slow progress that we see here. Also, the Hangman reinforces delay, stagnation, and waiting. While the Justice demands the honesty, accountability, fairness, and a clear decision, and the Justice also something that wants you to seek balance. And Three of Cups here, it may indicate outside influence, social complications, it could be the friendships, dynamics, or situation that remain too casual when greater commitment is kind of desired. Even though you have invested in all of the things, but then it's not turning into a fruitful commitment, is what you see. In the sense, the kind of commitment that you wanted. So the obstacle appears to be in indecision here. This is about your person, who knows about how they feel, but they struggle to act upon those feelings, is what we see. And this connection kind of becomes trapped between the possibility and actions here. And the outcome energy, this is the Tower, clarified by a bunch of other cards. There's a major breakthrough that collapse of an unsustainable dynamics here. So the Tower is one of the most misunderstood card, I would say. This itself does not indicate any sort of separation or disruption. It talks about the truth. It indicates the structure can no longer be the same way or continue to be in the same form. So there's a mutual connection, emotional reciprocity, attraction, and a kind of a partnership. The Hierophant here talks about commitment, marriage, higher level of relationship, or an official structured way of dealing things, which has a long-term potential. Around it, there's anxiety, overthinking, and emotional stress. So the Nine of Cups being reversed here shows there is an unsatisfaction, there's unmet emotional desires. So, together, these cards suggest that there's a significant truth that no longer can be avoided. So, something that has been created, something that has been creating anxiety, dissatisfaction, eventually it kind of reaches a breaking point. The existing structure of this connection appears to be unstable. A major conversation is about to take place. It kind of reveals you the real and makes you realize around the current turning point in this connection. This tower forces the relationship to evolve, define itself more clearly, and confront the truth about what has been avoided. The strongest message throughout this reading is about the uncertainty and which is continuing very indefinitely. There seems to be no end, no loop, there is no conclusions. The card shows there's a feeling, there's emotional investment, there is also a potential because of this Ten of Cups that we see, irrespective of whatever the past disappointments have been into the future. So, which is also causing you the delay, and your partner is more likely appearing to be indecisive and avoidant. In June 2026, it appears to be the month where reality becomes impossible to ignore. The biggest change is not necessarily the loss of connection itself. The biggest challenge is the collapse of the uncertainty. By the end of the cycle, something that has kind of remained undefined, unresolved, or emotional confusion is kind of forced into the light. So it's allowing the next chapter to begin more comfortably. Now, Virgo, as we move from the past energy to the present, what stands out to me is that this reading is showing the progress. The hermit does not stay in the hermit energy forever. And the very next card we see is the chariot. That tells me and that tells me whatever period of reflection, silence, distance, the confusion or the withdrawal existed before June is beginning to shift. You have spent enough time thinking and time you are trying to understand the situation, understand the connection, understanding the all the mixed signals that you got initially, or understanding whatever where things exactly stand. So now the energy is moving. The question is not whether movement is happening. The chariot is telling us the real question is whether the movement brings two people closer together or whether it creates the emotional truth that has been avoided for too long. So, because as we move through the rest of the spread, the cards repeatedly suggest that something can no longer remain in the limbo. A decision, realization, or conversation, or the truth is gradually building the momentum, and the June appears to be the month where the momentum becomes inevitable. This reading begins with the reflection and it does not end there. By the time we reach the outcome, we have moved from silence to the movement, and from movement to the emotional truth, and from the emotional truth to the tower moment. So, some of you may look you know, tower like a conversation that has been delayed for too long, and for others, it may be the truth that finally comes to the surface, and for some of you, it may be the moment where the connection finally defines itself in one way or the another. The cards are showing that something has been built beneath the surface for quite some time, and June appears to be the month where the energy reaches a turning point. So, Virgos, pay attention to what is being revealed rather than what is being hidden. Pay attention to actions rather than assumptions, and most importantly, trust what becomes clear, even if it arrives in an unexpected way. So, if this reading resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts and experience. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to SHELO Mystics for more monthly tarots and numerology readings. So, if you like your personal readings tailored to your unique situation, you can reach out to me at the email address mentioned in the description. Thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourself, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next reading.